So can you talk a little bit about Advocate's innovative approach to patient experience?
Yeah, several years ago, we really decided to take a more holistic approach to how we were thinking about patient experience. I think some folks tend to think about patient experience as just being about patient satisfaction. And if you really put the patient at the center and you think about all it is they go through in a hospitalization or a visit to their doctor's office, you realize that that satisfaction component is one part of what they experience, but they also experience things around safety and how safe is the care that they experience. They experience things around quality and were they receiving the best outcomes that they could get, and are they achieving that piece around satisfaction as well. So we decided to stop thinking about these in their separate silos, a silo of safety, silo of quality, a silo of service. And at Advocate, we've decided to bring it all together as a single brand promise that we call inside our organization the Advocate Experience. And we tagline that as the Advocate Experience: safety, quality, service, always. And we put it in that order because safety is first and foremost. We put that tagline always because we're aspiring to be a high reliability organization, and that notion of HRO, a high reliability organization, is about always executing, always getting it right, always delivering. And that word always, we think just in one word, really captures that notion of being a high reliability organization.
And a lot of hospitals don't seem to include patient safety and quality into the patient experience. Is that true? Can you tell me a little bit more about why Advocate chose to do that?
Yeah, I think hospitals are probably evolving in that direction. You know, one of the reasons we decided to do that is because if safety, quality, and service lives in all of its separate silos, what ended up happening was that you would get a set of tactics that were just for safety. And then you'd get a set of things that folks on the front line needed to do just for quality. And then they'd have this totally different set of things that they needed to do for service. So you end up then that you've got 20, 30, 40 different things you need to do, each in its own separate silo, to drive these outcomes. And the truth is that an individual physician, an individual nurse, an individual pharmacist, anybody working on the front line, they just don't have the bandwidth, they just don't have the time to do all 40 of those things. But when you start to bring it together, you start to look, to use the old saying, is there a way to hit two birds with one stone? Or in this case, is there a small set of tactics that we can use that can deliver all three of those things at the same time?
You mentioned the importance of aligning all these initiatives. Can you really talk about why that was important to Advocate and why other hospitals should really include that in their strategy?
Yeah, at Advocate it was important for two reasons. One is to have a common message and a common vision. And it's important to have that so that it is a unified way to present, in particular to the front line. And the second piece, which relates to that, is that it starts to eliminate the confusion, the duplication, the overwork, the overwhelming number of tactics that frontline folks need to do in order to achieve the entirety of the patient experience, and really starts to, in a way, lean down the work and the things they need to focus on.
All right, well, thanks a lot for joining me today, Rishi. I really appreciate it.
Great, thank you so much, Matt.